Chapter 6. Claremont, the rubbish pile of the city. It is not far to Claremont. They lie together, Sophiatown, where anyone may own property, the western native township, and Claremont, the rubbish pile of the proud city. These three lie between two European districts. So they walked till they came to Claremont, and Kumalo was shocked by its dirt, how close together the houses were, and the rubbish in the streets. "Do you see that woman, my friend? She is one of the liquor sellers. They say she is one of the richest of our people in Johannesburg." "And these children?" asked Kumalo. "Why are they not at school?" "Some because they do not care, and some because their parents do not care, but many because the schools are full. But here is the house. Will you go in alone?" "It would be better." "When you are ready, you will find me next door. There is a woman of our church there, a good woman who tries with her husband to bring up good children, but it is hard in this place." Kumalo stands alone before the door. There is laughter in the house, the kind of laughter of which one is afraid. Perhaps because one is afraid already. Perhaps because it is in truth bad laughter. A woman's voice and men's voices. But he knocks, and she opens. "It is I, my sister." Have no doubt it is fear in her eyes. She steps back and makes no move towards him. She turns and says something that he cannot hear. Chairs are moved, and other things are taken. She turns to him. "I am making ready, my brother." They stand and look at each other. He anxious, she afraid. She turns and looks back into the room. A door closes and she says, "Come in, my brother." Only then does she reach out her hand to him. It is cold and wet. There is no life in it. They sit down. She is silent upon her chair. "I have come," he said. "It is good." "You did not write?" "No, I did not write." "Where is your husband?" "I have not found him, my brother." "But you did not write?" "That is true, indeed." "Did you not know we were anxious?" "I had no money to write." "Not 2 pence for a stamp?" She does not answer him. She does not look at him. "But I hear you are rich." "I am not rich." "I hear you have been in prison." "That is true, indeed." "Was it for liquor?" She comes suddenly to life. She must do something. She cannot keep so silent. She tells him she was not guilty. There was some other woman. "You stayed with this woman?" "Yes." "Why did you stay with such a woman?" "I had no other place." "And you helped her with her trade?" "I had to have money for the child." "Where is the child?" She looks round. She gets up and goes to the yard. She calls, but the voice that was once so sweet has a new quality in it, the quality of the laughter that he heard in the house. She is revealing herself to him. "I have sent for the child," she says. "Where is it?" "It shall be fetched," she says. Her eyes show she is uncomfortable. The anger rises up in him. "Where shall I sleep?" he asks. The fear in her eyes is clear. Now she will reveal herself, but his anger masters him, and he does not wait for it. "You have shamed us," he says in a low voice. "A liquor seller, a woman of the streets, with a child, and you do not know where it is. Your brother a priest. How could you do this to us?" She looks at him. "I have come to take you back." She falls on the floor and cries. Her cries become louder and louder. She has no shame. "They will hear us," he says, and she tries to control her crying. "Do you wish to come back?" She nods her head. "I do not like Johannesburg," she says. "I am sick here. The child is sick also." "Do you wish with your heart to come back?" She nods her head again. She cries too. "I do not like Johannesburg," she says. She looks at him helplessly, and his heart beats faster with hope. "I am a bad woman, my brother. I do not deserve to go back." His eyes fill with tears. His deep gentleness returns to him. "God forgives us," he says. "Who am I not to forgive? Let us pray." They knelt down, and he prayed. Then peacefully they sat hand in hand. "And now I ask for your help," he said. "Our child, have you not heard of him?" "I did hear of him, brother. He was working at some big place in Johannesburg, and he lived in Sophia town, but where, I am not sure. But I know who will know. The son of our brother John and your son were often together. He will know." "I shall go there. And now, my sister, I must see if Mrs. Litebi has a room for you. Have you many things?" "Not many. This table and those chairs and a bed, and a few dishes and pots, that is all." "I shall find someone to fetch them. You will be ready?" "My brother, here is the child." Into the room came a little boy, his sister's son. His clothes were dirty, and his nose was dirty, and he put his finger in his mouth and looked at his uncle out of wide eyes. Kumalo lifted him up and wiped his nose clean and kissed him. "It will be better for the child," he said. "He will go to a place where the wind blows and where there is a school for him." "It will be better," she agreed. "I must go," he said. "There is much to do." He fetched her with a lorry that afternoon, while a crowd of interested neighbours discussed the affair loudly and openly. He was glad when the lorry was loaded and they left. Mrs. Litebi showed them their room and gave the mother and child their food. And that night they held prayers, Kumalo, Mrs. Litebi, and Gertrude. Kumalo himself was light-hearted like a boy, more so than he had been for years. One day in Johannesburg, and already the tribe was being brought together again, the house and the soul restored.